Have you ever felt if your price was reduced, you will sell a lot more? Have you negotiated with a client before and this person was bringing the price down and you were going down with him in the price? All of a sudden you said, okay, sir, no problem. Okay, pay. And he says, I'll get back to you. I'm sure you've been there before. So I'm trying to show you that a lot of times when it comes to buying, it's not really about the price. Have you also seen cases where you pitch your product to someone and the prospect goes to buy a more expensive solution, far more expensive than yours, because the price was not the problem? Now, am I telling you price is not important? Yes, price is important as well, definitely. The price and the value should not be too far from, there should be some, see, no matter how much a prospect looks at price, if some people say things like, this prospect is very price sensitive, all is concerned about is price, as he or she is looking at the price, with one other eye, they are looking at value as well, to check, to be sure that they are not paying for nothing. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to sell anything to anyone and at any price, right? How do you like that? So I'm going to walk you through right away. My name is Yoro Guigui. I've trained over 25,000 salespeople across 5 countries, Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales, and I've been featured on lots of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I worked in an organization where I was going to target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals, and I was able to bring in 21 high net worth individuals to the organization in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup for an all-expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I was able to double my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. I'm CEO for Ultravantage, and our specialty is in Salesforce management. This means I work with sales teams, with the CEOs and the team leads, to help them optimize the results of their sales teams and help them get results faster and in record time. So let's go right into the subject. Now I'm going to make a reference to my book, Nothing is Expensive. If you haven't got a copy of the book, the link will be available in the description for you to get yours. Nothing is expensive. We're going to give it at a special discount today, so you want to take advantage of it, please, that would be good. Now, let's look at, I'll be looking at it from page 21. Any price can be accepted if you can prove or emphasize the value. Any price can be accepted if you can prove and emphasize the value. What are we saying? When value is emphasized, price becomes accepted. However, if price is emphasized, value is not emphasized or de-emphasized, that means that the price will always be too high. Or the prospect will say it's expensive. Because in reality, nothing is expensive. It's just about the positioning of the value. How well was the value positioned? If the value was positioned right, the price will be accepted. And notice we use the word proving. The word proving is very, very important. Any price can be accepted if you can prove the value. Why do we say prove? Because in law, for example, it is not the person who committed a crime that went to prison. Think about it. Because in reality, nobody really knows who committed the crime. It is what the lawyers can prove. No prospect knows the best products. It is what can be proved to them that they will then say, let me give this a try. Let me get these products. So that's why even in law, sometimes there are people who are very guilty. They committed a crime. They did everything bad. Yet they were proven not guilty. Why? Because the lawyer made a compelling case. What is your compelling case for you to sell your product or service? Don't say things like, because it's too expensive. The more expensive the product is, a lot of times it's easier to sell. Because when you find the right people, they know that this is for them. Especially when they know that it is actually expensive. Some people buy things just because it is expensive. Some people have the mentality that because it's higher in value, the quality is better. So you want to make sure that you emphasize value. And I'm going to show you the few things you use to emphasize value right now. Number one, social proof. Social proof. What's social proof? Social proof means if a few people who you respect or admire or who are like you are doing a particular task or activity, you will be more aligned and predisposed and dispositioned to be able to want to go and do that same thing. If you're told, if you went to the app store, you wanted to download an app, and they told you only 2 people have downloaded it, you may not even download it. Or you check the reviews and the reviews are bad, you may not even download the app. It's unlikely. But if you wanted to download an app and they told you 2 billion people have downloaded it, what? Out of all the people on earth today, 2 billion? That's a lot. And you check the reviews, 5-star, people are saying good things, you will be more aligned and predisposed to go and download the app. You go to the ATM machine, for example, you get there, you see 5 machines. Then 5 people are queued on one machine. You will find out that unconsciously you will go to that machine first, because you don't know what has happened to those other machines that's making you go to that machine. Now, sometimes in the past, I have taken my debit card and I went to the machine that was not working, or to the other machines where there was no queue, because I thought, let me just, this may be social proof. Let me just give it a try. And when I put in my card, it swallowed my card. So social proof also helps to protect us from danger, protect us from trouble. Now, how do you apply social proof? With testimonials. And the concept is this: the more people who have bought at that price you think is very expensive, that you think is high, the more people who have bought at that price, the more people will buy. Question: that product or service you're selling that you think is expensive, have people bought at that price? Yes. If people have bought, more people will buy. So where are the testimonials? Where are your success stories? Are you living into chance? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great shock to me that everywhere I've gone to for training sessions in different countries, different industries, I always ask, how many of you in your last sales meeting, this last week, you shared a testimonial? How many of you? Can I see your hand up, please? Most times, not up to 5% of the class raises their hand. And even when maybe 1 or 2 raise their hand, I ask, which testimonials did you share? Can I hear from you? What they say they shared was not even a testimonial. A testimonial is not how the sale grew your career, or how, as a result of the sale, you became more important in the office, or how, as a result of the sale, many people started buying from you. No, a testimonial is about the customer, the before and the after. What happened as a result of the purchase from you, or as a result of them using your product or service. Now, people buy because others are paying. Because others are paying, people would want to buy. So show them that other people are paying. Whatever style you want to use, if you want to use receipts to show, fine. If your line of sale or your line of industry can accept that, why not? If not, share the testimonials of people who are already buying from you. You can publish them on your website, publish them maybe get them written audio, video formats, and that would help you sell a lot better. Number 2, practice what we call fragment pricing. Fragment pricing. Now, this means, have you seen cases where somebody says, this thing is going to cost you ₦1 million every month? And the person now thinks, ₦1 million every month? Wow. But if you now break it down to the amounts per week, to the amounts per day, it may not be so much anymore. Or someone says 10 million a year. You break it down. Or the price is 10 million. And you now say, okay, sir, just imagine you're going to use this for the next 10 years. The lifetime of this product or service is going to be for at least 10 years before you see any wear and tear, just as an example. This means that in reality, you're paying $1 million per year, which means in reality, you're actually paying, you divide it by 12, you divide it by number of weeks in a year, or you divide it by number of days in a year. So this amount you're paying per day, it becomes insignificant. It becomes almost nothing. So when you practice fragment pricing, you're trying to help to shift the perspective and change the perspective of the prospects. I remember I was negotiating with a client one day, and I said, sir, just in conclusion, just remember that this fee is not up to the amount for a flight ticket. Understanding that what this will do to your business compared. I was trying to juxtapose, put things in perspective for him, fragment pricing, so that based on that, he would be able to realize that, based on what I want to achieve, it may not be too bad after all. Sometimes when we talk about proving value and making people realize that they are getting far more value than what they are paying, understand that we must put some things first before we get to the pricing. Price mentioned before value has been understood is a sale lost. That must be the foundation upon our discussions. So I'm not telling you to begin a conversation and just mention your price and start to do a fragment pricing. No. The value must have been communicated. And what is value? Value is not features and benefits. Value is not what the prospect says, it's not what you say it is. Value is what the prospect says it is. The question is, what is value to the prospect? You can only know what is value to the prospect if you have an idea what their needs are, you have an idea what their desires are, what their aspirations are. You can then know what is value to them. And that's why you must ask questions. Don't ever be in a hurry to start talking about your product or service. No. Sir, can I ask you a few questions just to see how I can be of help to you? These are the questions normally we like to ask most of our clients because this would help them make a decision. Or this is how we can help to serve them better. This simple statement I've made right now, using the word most of our clients. You see, I apply social proof there. When I say, sir, these are the questions we've asked most of our clients, that's social proof. He knows that these questions I'm about to ask him right now are not questions that are peculiar to him. They are things you already ask a lot of people. And that way, I can understand them. So tell me about your business. How do you get this line of work? Most of our clients, I will ask questions so I can understand him. When I listen and understand the person I'm selling to, I can then know where the pain is. And we practice need awareness questions. We emphasize on the problem. We ask questions around the problem to see what is really costing them, so that when we get to pricing, things can be put in perspective. Number 3, there's what we call the give all and take some concepts. The give all and take some concepts. And how does this work? You start your conversation with the highest price products. If I'm talking to you about our project, for example, real estate project, I want to start talking about the penthouse first. I don't want to start with the one bed, for example. I want to start with the penthouse. The first price you mentioned in a sales conversation is the anchor of the conversation. The anchor of the conversation means this will now become the reference point. This is what will be used to measure going forward. This is where the negotiation would happen around. So begin with the penthouse and talk about all the features of the penthouse. Then you go down to the maybe maisonette or 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 1-bedroom. Or when you're communicating your price, you give options. 3 options, 3 different packages. A higher price, higher value, lower price, lower value, then the lowest price, lowest value. Then you start communicating from the highest price. If you look at even our business, when we send our proposals out to clients and we are putting our prices, we start with the highest amounts. Then we move to the lower than the lowest. And a lot of times it makes clients even pick the highest amounts. So you want to make sure that you practice the give all and take some out concepts so that you can be able to prove them that even as a prospect, you're getting far more value than what you're paying. Number 4, you want to ask questions. You want to ask questions. Like I said, build questions around the problems you identify with the clients. Build questions around their needs or their desires. See, not everybody that is buying to solve a problem. Some people are buying because of the aspiration of what they can enjoy, what they can benefit. Build questions around those areas. If you build questions around those areas, you find out that, you see, there's something about asking questions, ladies and gentlemen. Asking questions actually builds credibility. It establishes trust. Because, think about it, all the professionals and all the experts, they ask questions. When you meet a lawyer and you say, I have issues concerning the situation, he will ask you questions. When you meet a doctor, I have issues concerning the situation, he will ask you questions. If you meet a pastor or religious leader, I have issues concerning the situation, they will ask you questions. Even in school, we were asked questions. So you see, we're in a world of answers, but it's questions that bring out the answers. So asking questions is so key. Number 5, you want to establish your credibility. See, part of why a client, think about this. Just look at this scenario. Imagine if you wanted to sell something to someone, or someone wanted to sell something to you, and the person came with maybe an expensive laptop, top-class laptop, maybe one of the most expensive in the world, and the person is coming to sell it to you, and the person is wearing singlets, the person has tattoos all over their body, with pierced earrings, rough hair, and maybe just shorts and slippers, and says, I have this thing to sell to you. Very expensive, and you can see it. Maybe you just even saw an ad, and they told you that it was the most expensive laptop in the world. And the person comes to you and trying to sell it to you. Are you aware that because of the packaging and how this person is presented, it will affect your belief and how well you can trust what the person is offering to you? And this is where packaging comes. The packaging is so key. How you package and present what you're offering matters. Who are you? How do you dress? How do you present yourself? When it's time to speak to the prospects, how do you speak? Are you still speaking pidgin and you're speaking to your prospects? Or are you adding vernacular? You're adding your language. I heard some sales people, they are talking. While they are talking, before long, will appear in the conversation. Yoruba will appear, or Benin will appear. You don't want to do those kind of things. So present yourself as the expert, as a professional. Dress your best. When you dress your best, you are trying to honor the prospect. Say, Mr. Prospect, I respect your time, I honor you, and I appreciate you for giving me your attention. Another thing you want to also practice is using your vocabulary. The vocabulary of your target audience. Choose your target audience. If you're trying to sell to everybody, you not sell to anybody. If people are saying your product is too expensive, it may not be most likely it's not your product. You're selling to the wrong target audience. Choose your target audience carefully. I like his statement here. Here it says, objections that come from your target market or niche are always easier to handle than general market objections. So make sure that you have your target audience in order you're going after. So that way you can be able to manage and handle your objections even a lot better. And I'd love to continue, but if you can continue the rest, you can get the rest in our book here. Nothing's expensive. You can get a copy. Just click a link below. You can order a copy today and it will be a great blessing to you. All right. My name is Uri Obuge. Thanks so much for watching again. Please remember, if you haven't watched this video, please watch this. It's going to be a great blessing to you. Please subscribe, like, share this video with others. And if you can subscribe here, please like, share this video with others. And please comment below which of these points you like the most.